The Los Angeles Fire Department will be better prepared this week compared to last. For example, fire engines have been positioned ready for any new outbreaks fueled by tomorrow's high winds. But the LA fire chief insisted today the city was not in the clear. We must not let our guard down, she said. The number of dead now stands at 24, with at least another 23 missing.
100 feet down the hill, that's where we're going to anchor in.
Working 24 hours at a stretch, fire crews are grafting on the ridges and hillsides above LA, trying to steal an advantage over the fire before the weather turns against them again. This was the heart of the Palisades fire, the most ferocious blaze. The ground's still smouldering here. Crews are clearing any dry brush and hosing down hotspots, likely to reignite when the winds blow in.
We're still in a very precarious position right now. Fire can walk, run, jump, and fly. And what we mean by that is with those embers. So with this wind that can carry those embers into that unburned fuel to reignite this fire.
The surf still laps LA's golden shores, but the city has never looked like this. The area already damaged by fire is the size of the whole of Cardiff. Over 100,000 evacuated and 13,000 homes and other buildings destroyed. Among them, Wendy's. She's sleeping in an emergency shelter with her paralysed son and 2 daughters, and she's exhausted.
All I grabbed was my son, carry him out, and that's all I took. I didn't take no clothes, I didn't take no paperwork, I didn't take nothing. All I was worrying about, carrying my son to the car, that's it.
You didn't even manage to leave with anything, not even your phone?
We lost everything, we practically lost everything what we had. So we gotta start from zero to start all over again.
It's really hard. Yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah, it's pretty hard when you lose everything.
Wendy's son, Eric, didn't want to be filmed, but he did want to say this.
Yeah, it sounds like your mom is an amazing woman.
Yeah, she really is.
Yeah. She takes good care of you.
She really does.
LA residents are trying to help families left destitute by the fires. This enormous donation centre is entirely organised by volunteers. A continuous stream of cars arriving with clothes and food, exhausted evacuees able to take whatever they need. The cost of the fire is already estimated at over £200 billion. Fire teams and equipment have arrived from all of California's neighbouring states, Canada and Mexico too. They're prepped and vigilant. The question now, will it be enough? Romilly Weeks, News at 10, Los Angeles.
How the next few days play out depends, of course, on the strength of the wind, whether it accelerates the flames again and grounds the water drop aircraft. Martin is here to take us through the firefighting problems. Martin.
Yeah, well, Nina, there are still 3 fires which are being grappled with. They are Hearst, Eaton and Pacific Palisades. Now, Hearst is now 95% contained. Eaton, the second largest, an area roughly the size of Northampton, is 33% contained, and Palisades, which you just heard from Romilly, is roughly the size of Cardiff, is still just 14% contained. And the big fear is, after a calm weekend, the winds which have spread these fires are picking back up, with gusts now forecast of up to 70 miles per hour. The good news is there's plenty of water in California to fight these fires. The bad news is it's often been in the wrong place. The reservoir, in fact, nearest to Palisades, which holds 440 million litres, was empty before the fire started. Initially, as levels of other reservoirs quickly lowered, so did the water pressure, meaning hydrants, particularly those uphill, stopped working. And London actually experienced a similar loss of pressure during the Grenfell fire.
If water is not delivered at the right time, at the right place, with the adequate quantities, it's extremely difficult to confine the fire and its impact, and very quickly that fire can go out of control, very similar to Grenfell Tower.
Now, fighting fire from the air is effective, but it can be tricky in the wind. There are, though, now 84 aircraft involved, including helicopters, which can carry water, as well as firefighters. Then you've got large tankers dropping red fire-retardant chemicals. They're dropped not onto the flames, but nearby to stop the fire spreading further. And water bombers, able to scoop up 6,000 litres of water in just 12 seconds and then bomb it onto the fire. But most aircraft can't or won't scoop up water from the nearby Pacific Ocean. Why? Well, because salt is corrosive. It can destroy firefighting equipment, it's less effective at cooling, and the salt can contaminate the land, meaning a short-term fix, putting the flames out, could have a devastating long-term impact. And if you look at the burnt-out homes, you'll notice it's often just the concrete chimney stacks which are still standing. That's because most homes are constructed of wood, because it's cheaper and more earthquake-resistant, but it's flammable. And if you're wondering the reason why the homes appear to have been burnt more than the trees, well, that's because construction timber is dry, whereas trees can hold thousands of litres of water. So as LA braces for the next few windy days, 14,000 firefighters have now been deployed, numbers bolstered by professionals from the US states, Canada, Mexico. In fact, even the Ukraine, fighting a war of its own, is offering help to be sent to California.
Martin, thank you. Back to Romilly now, who is in Brentwood in Los Angeles. Romilly, the emergency services under intense pressure to prepare for the worst.
Yes, Nina, that's right. And they're really throwing everything they've got at this. I'm on the edge of the Palisades fire zone. This is an evacuated area. You can see the National Guard behind me with their armoured vehicles preventing people from returning to their homes. And we've been up in the hillsides all morning looking at the preparations going on. There are hundreds of firemen up there. It is intense, dirty, back-breaking work. They're cutting fire breaks by hand. They're digging out tree roots where fire could still be burning, and they're hosing down embers as they see them. As you walk around there, you can still feel the heat radiating from the land, and any spark up there could ignite into a new conflagration as the winds come in. And the layout of LA is really not helpful here, because you have densely populated areas like this that back onto the hillsides and the woods where the fires can really easily spring up. They have done what they can. There is fire retardant spread out across this whole area. We've even been speaking to firemen who say they've been sleeping in their trucks because they don't want to leave the area. They are taking no chances, but there is real nervousness about the forecast.
Yeah, you can see why. Romilly, thank you very much.